I have no idea what that name is. They should have sent me a pronunciation in the email.
To absolutely nobody.
Life is as great as it seems. Yeah, living my wildest dream. Yeah, counting my money in green. I got money in the.
What's up, YouTube? Hey, I got hit up by these two companies. One called Auxbeam, you may have heard of, and another one called NAO or NAO. And they gave me two sets of LED headlight bulbs to try out. And I'm gonna be testing them out on the Civic right here, which doesn't have a projector headlight to it, and also on a 2015 Honda Accord, which does have the projector headlight. That way you can see the difference between a headlight that's designed to have that specific cutoff versus a regular headlight bulb that is designed to reflect the light out and scatter the light across different directions. This should be a good way to see if it's worthwhile to go to an LED bulb versus the regular halogen bulbs. Let's check this out. For those that don't know, somehow, if you've been living under a rock since forever, this is your normal halogen bulb right here. These things, how can I put it? They suck for emitting light. But obviously, technology, things got better over time, and we moved on to HIDs and now LED lights. First good thing that I want to say about the NAO headlight bulbs, they're shielded. See how that kind of covers it right there in the middle? So that way the light is kind of controlled as it emits out. It's full shield on that side and it's open over here. So that's going to help direct your light a little bit better for people who have the regular headlight bulbs like this that scatter the light out. On the back side, they have a large fan. This is a pretty large fan. There's good heat sinks on it. There's vents on the sides, as you can see right there, those small holes, and a much larger fan on the back. So it's good that it keeps the LED nice and cool. The bad thing, it's hard to fit it inside your headlight and retain that rubber grommet that goes on the back side of your headlights. But the thing is, when you're using this, they don't want you to use that back side. They want you to leave that rubber piece off or order their specific rubber pieces to go around these headlights, these light bulbs. So that way they stay nice and cool and they don't cause any problems like that. So you won't be reusing your OEM surroundings on some particular headlights. That doesn't apply to every headlight type. But overall, the construction of this one, it feels okay. It's not the greatest. It's kind of has like a plasticky feel to the back end of it. This black piece here on the back, it feels a little bit cheap. But then again, these are the cheaper of the two LED headlight bulbs. A downside to this is this plug. This is the H4 bulb type. The prongs on this plug are too long. So when you like plug it in and connect it to your OEM harness, some of the metal is still showing. And that, to me, that just makes me a bit uncomfortable. I don't like that little detail of it. But besides that, I mean, it's a pretty good design. It's not heavy or anything like that. But I think for the price that you would pay for this, it's not bad at all. Now, moving on to the Auxbeam version. This is the Auxbeam T1. These are the temperature control type. They also come with a separate unit to them to connect to specific vehicles that require that. For my car, I don't need it. It's going to be a simple plug and play. You can see here it has a nice clean harness to it. The backside fan on this one, the fans are smaller than that NAO bulb, but it's a pretty good design. It feels very sturdy. This back end, it's very nice and solid. It feels like a much higher quality construction. It has the same amount of LED bulbs on it. And on this end, they're not shielded. As you can see, it's just wide open on both sides, front and back. So that may or may not be a plus or minus. We'll see how the light actually emits. But I know you can't direct the light beam with this one. There's nothing you can do about that since it's just open on both sides. But this overall feels like a much higher quality piece right here. If I was just judging based off of the quality of the build itself, I would go the Auxbeam route with this one. The plug for this one is a lot better too. The prongs on here are the right length. So once you plug them in, again, this is the H4 type, and you plug it in and it fits completely solid. It covers those up. So you don't have to worry about anything getting in between there. So that's a plus for these as well. These cost us a little bit more, but I do have a discount code available for you guys to help you guys out with getting you some of these LED headlights or light bulbs. So check that out. The link will be in the description down below. And yeah, and trust me, I don't get any feedback or kickbacks for you guys using those discount codes, anything like that. That's simply to help you guys out. So that's just me trying to give back to you guys. They reached out to me on this, and this is something I agreed to do if I could also be able to give back to everybody who checks out the video or clicks the links through my specific video. All right, so first up, we have your normal halogen bulbs in the projector housing of the 2015 Honda Accord. So these have a particular beam pattern, and they'll shoot out and they'll make a nice even cutoff. So as you can see in the distance, it's not really lighting up like everything up in the sky and stuff like that. It's just a smooth straight across beam. And these are your normal halogens, so it's a bit yellow. It's not that bright. It's something we've been meaning to upgrade in this car for a long time anyway, so that's how that looks. Now we'll switch them out to the Auxbeam T1s. The difference with those light bulbs then is pretty amazing. It almost looks like the driver's side bulb isn't even in. Right now I only have the passenger side Auxbeam T1 headlight bulb in, and the difference is dramatic. I mean, you can see the cutoff difference between the original halogen bulb and the T1 over here. Look at that beam pattern control right there. I mean, that's a solid line too. That's crazy. It looks like the other light bulb's not even on. That's ridiculous because both of them actually are on, as you can see, but it's that dramatic of a difference. And it's more of the white balance effect on the phone that's making it kind of have that bluish tint, because it's actually displaying pretty white in person. It's just as white and clear as my OEM HIDs from my TLX. It's just the white balance correction, so don't let that fool you. It's definitely not blue tinted like some of those cheap bulbs you see or you find from like AutoZone or anything like that. It's actually a very, very white line. So that's pretty good. That's super dramatic. I wasn't expecting that. Especially for them just offering it just to do a review. I really wasn't expecting such a dramatic effect like that. That is crazy. You don't see anything from the other bulb at all. It's like it's not even working. That's kind of embarrassing. It's like I should have had these a long time ago. $5K HIDs and the T1s from Auxbeam. The color is identical. That's quality from a simple LED bulb. I'm very surprised by that. All right, next up we got the gravity coupe. Now keep in mind that this headlight type is designed to actually scatter light out. It's not gonna make that solid beam pattern, or it shouldn't anyway. And unfortunately my driver's side bulb, no, my passenger side bulb actually burnt out on me. And so on the driver's side I have the regular halogen bulb. The passenger side right now has the NAO or NAO LED headlight bulb in there. So right off the bat we'll see the difference between the LED over here and the halogen bulb here. That's a light on the ground. It's not too dramatic like it was with the projector headlight bulbs, but let's see, looking from the front, that is quite a bit of difference still, because you can see it on the ground now up front right here. You can see how the light's hitting the ground, and the same curve for the halogen bulb, but obviously nowhere near as bright. And that's considering that the car is sitting underneath a street light right now. So you can imagine on a darker road how that'll actually look. And you can see from here that shows you how the light is actually scattered out. That's what the headlight is supposed to do for these types, and you can't even see it on the other side there. So that alone shows you that the LED is also doing a good job even with the old style headlights. So that's pretty interesting to notice. So from here, I guess I'll swap out the driver's side bulb with one of the Auxbeam bulbs so we can see a direct comparison between Auxbeam and the NAO and NAO bulb. I have no idea what that name is. They should have sent me a pronunciation in the email. Hey, real quick, let me keep it real with you guys. When I got hit up by both of these companies, they hit me up at 2 different times. They contacted me first, and I just so happened to not get around to doing the review video for them. And then I got contacted by Auxbeam, and I figured, hey, why not try them out? You know, see if they'll come through for me. So after Auxbeam said that, yeah, they'll go ahead and do it, they'll send me a set to review, I decided I might as well put them up against each other. So them as a company, they had nothing to do with this. Like either one of them, they're both separate. They both have their own separate discount codes, which both will be down below. So check either one of them out, whichever you prefer. And yeah, I just figured, why not keep it real with everyone and see how they look, you know, paired up against each other, because everybody wants to know like which type of LED bulbs they should buy, or if they should even go LED at all in the first place. So anyway, let's get this Auxbeam bulb in the car so we can see what it looks like directly compared to this bulb, but that's already in there. Driver's side, we have the Auxbeam bulb. Passenger side, we have the NAO NAO bulb. So let's see how they do. Just at first glance, the Auxbeam seems to have a more pure white color as opposed to the temperature of the NAO bulb over there. Yeah, it's definitely more of a bluish tint to the other side, and this is more of a clear white. It's actually quite a bit brighter too now that I'm getting around to the front. Significantly brighter, as you can see on the ground here. So got Auxbeam over here, NAO over here. So I think you know which ones I'm gonna go with. Looks like Auxbeam is actually worth it. And these are the T1 bulbs. I know some people hit me up about some of the older bulbs and older styles that they had, and apparently they've come through and made whatever changes they needed to make and came out with a pretty good bulb now. So they get my approval. That looks pretty good. Nice and bright. and it's not all blue. And that's something you don't really want. Somebody was mentioning that as well, or asked me to touch on that. You don't really want those bulbs that have anything a higher Kelvin than say like 5000 K. Once you get beyond 5000 K, like 4300 to 5000 K is the brightest, purest light you're gonna get. Once you get past that, it starts getting more of that bluish tint and stuff like that, and that's not really lighting up the road better. It's not giving you better vision. And as a matter of fact, anything beyond that, as it starts to get more blue and stuff, is actually pretty harmful for your eyes and like oncoming traffic. So you don't really want anything beyond 5000 K. Most of the current cars that come with HIDs and stuff like that, those all have like a 5K bulb to them. So that's what you really want to aim for. And once again, it's more of a white balance thing out of the camera, but in person, that Auxbeam is like pure white in person. Yeah, my vote goes to the Auxbeam headlights, headlight bulbs. Those things are nice. This whole video, I keep saying headlights instead of bulbs. But anyway, yeah, the Auxbeams, they seem to do the job, man. They're really worth it, so they get my recommendation. Be sure to check below for the discount codes. You guys check them out. Try whatever you like. That's my opinion on it. You don't have to follow my word. Go with what you feel. So for now, I'm going to be rocking with the Auxbeams for a while. And see you guys in the next one.